Mama, after you finish cleaning the bathroom, please remember to wash the dishes in the sink. I'm exhausted. Those words landed like thunder. The same Mama Victoria who once made grown women cry with a single sentence. The same woman who sent 3 wives running from her son's house. But this is not where our story begins. Let me take you back to the beginning, to the day when Mama Victoria's reign of terror was at its peak. In the heart of Lagos, in a compound where everyone knew everyone's business, there lived a woman whose very name made people nervous. Not because she was kind. Not because she was generous. But because she had perfected the art of making people feel small. She was a widow in her late 50s, round-bodied with skin the color of dark chocolate, always dressed in colorful ankara with matching hair ties that stood tall like crowns. Her gold earrings caught the sunlight, and her voice could carry from one end of the street to the other. But it was her eyes that people feared most. Sharp. Calculating. Always watching for mistakes. No woman born of a woman can take better care of my son than me, she would announce to anyone listening. I raised him with these 2 hands. I worked 3 jobs to send him to school. These modern girls only want to enjoy what I suffered to build. Her son, Tund, was a successful architect. Handsome, kind-hearted, but with one fatal flaw, he could never stand up to his mother. Every wife knew the rule, Mama Victoria's approval was impossible to get, but her disapproval was guaranteed. Her name was Patience, and she lived up to it. Patience was a nurse, soft-spoken, with a gentle spirit and a smile that made people trust her instantly. She came from a Christian home where respect for elders was sacred. On her wedding day, after the ceremony, she knelt before Mama Victoria and said with genuine warmth, "Mama, I'm not here to take your son away from you. I'm here to love him and to honor you as my own mother. Please guide me." Mama Victoria smiled that day. But anyone who knew her could see it was the smile of a cat watching a mouse walk into a trap. The problem started within the first week. Patience would wake up at 5 a.m. to prepare breakfast. Mama Victoria would taste it and push the plate away. "This pap is too thick. Are you trying to choke me? Didn't your mother teach you how to cook?" If Patience mopped the floor, Mama would deliberately walk through with wet slippers from the bathroom, then shout, "Look at this dirty floor. You call yourself a wife?" When visitors came, that's when Mama Victoria truly performed. She would sit in her special chair, fanning herself, and announce loudly, "You know, the housemaid I had 5 years ago was more useful than some people in this house." At least she knew how to show gratitude. Patience would stand there, forcing a smile while humiliation burned in her chest. "Mama, I'll do better," she would say quietly. But better was never enough. Because Mama Victoria didn't want a good daughter-in-law. She wanted total surrender. The breaking point came on a Saturday afternoon. Patience had worked the night shift at the hospital, dealing with emergency cases for 12 hours straight. She came home exhausted, but she still went straight to the kitchen to prepare lunch. She made ifo riro with stockfish, pounded yam, and fried fish. She set the table beautifully, even added flowers from the garden. Mama Victoria came to the table, looked at the food, and without warning, swept her hand across the table, sending plates crashing to the floor. "You're trying to kill me. Look at this oily soup. You want to give me a stroke." Patience stood there, watching her hard work destroyed on the floor, and something inside her broke. "Mama, what did I do?" she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You were born. That's what you did. You came into my house thinking you could replace me in my son's heart." When Ton came home that evening, he found his mother sitting in the dark, a wrapper around her chest, crying softly. "Mama, what happened? Your wife insulted me today. She told me I'm too old to live in this house." It was a complete lie, but Ton had heard this script before with every disagreement. "Patience, just apologize to Mama," he said tiredly. "You know how she gets. Let's just keep the peace. That night, Patience lay in bed staring at the ceiling. She realized something painful: she would never be enough. No matter what she did, she would always be the enemy. Before sunrise, she packed one small bag, removed her wedding ring, and placed it on the dresser with a note. Turned, I loved you with everything I had. But love shouldn't cost you your dignity. I hope you find what you're looking for. May God bless you both. When Ton woke up and read the note, he felt like someone had punched a hole through his chest. But Mama Victoria. She simply tied her wrapper tighter and said, "Good. That girl was never right for you anyway. Don't worry, my son. Mama will find you a proper wife." 8 months later, Ton married Funmi. Funmi was everything Patience wasn't. She was a lawyer, bold, outspoken, with fire in her eyes and zero tolerance for disrespect. She wore her natural hair in a beautiful afro, drove her own car, and when she spoke, people listened. From day one, the clash was inevitable. "Good morning, Mama," Funmi would say while walking past with her coffee. Mama Victoria would hiss loudly. "So you can't kneel to greet me? You've lost your home training." Funmi would stop, turn around slowly, and reply calmly, "Mama, I greet you with respect in my heart. Kneeling is a cultural practice, not a requirement for respect." Mama Victoria nearly had a heart attack. She immediately went on the offensive. She changed all the locks in the kitchen and wore the key around her neck. "Any food you want to cook in this house, you must ask me first." Funmi didn't even blink. The next day, she bought a 2-burner stove and started cooking on the balcony. When neighbors asked, she smiled sweetly and said, "Oh, Mama likes to manage the kitchen herself, so I'm giving her space." Mama Victoria was furious. She began a whisper campaign. She told every neighbor, every church member, every person who would listen, "That girl is using witchcraft on my son. I can feel it. Every time she looks at me, something evil touches my spirit." When Ton came home, Mama would be lying down, breathing heavily, clutching her chest. "My son, I don't know how much longer I can survive in this house. That woman you married has brought darkness into our home." One evening, Funmi confronted her directly. "Mama, why are you lying about me? I've done nothing to you." Mama Victoria saw her opportunity. She grabbed her wrapper and screamed at the top of her lungs. "Jesus! She wants to kill me. Neighbors, come and witness." Within seconds, people rushed in. Mama Victoria was on the floor, rolling, wailing like she'd been beaten. "My son's wife is attacking me. God, please save me from this woman." Ton was mortified. He begged Funmi to apologize, but Funmi refused. "I will not apologize for something I didn't do. Your mother is manipulating you, and you're too blind to see it." The next day, while Ton was at work, Mama Victoria packed every single item belonging to Funmi and dumped them outside the gate. When Funmi came home from court, she saw her life scattered on the street. Mama Victoria stood there, arms folded, victorious. "Go back to your father's house. I will not share a roof with a witch." Funmi didn't cry. She didn't beg. She simply looked Mama Victoria in the eye and said something that would later prove prophetic. "Mama, the universe has a way of teaching us lessons. One day, you will meet someone who treats you exactly the way you've treated others. And on that day, remember this moment." Then she got in her car and drove away, leaving Mama Victoria standing there with a hollow victory. That night, Mama Victoria celebrated. Finally, peace has returned to this house. But Ton sat in his room, staring at the empty space where his wife used to sleep, feeling more alone than ever. Months passed. Ton was now 37, twice divorced, and visibly unhappy. One morning, Mama Victoria made a decision. These Lagos girls are the problem. Too educated, too proud, too stubborn. I need to find a real village girl. Someone with proper home training who knows how to respect elders. She traveled to her village, Abeokuta, with a mission: find the perfect, submissive wife. After asking around, someone mentioned Bisola. That girl is the epitome of respect, they said. She just finished secondary school. She goes to church 3 times a week. She doesn't wear makeup or follow fashion. She's perfect for your son. Mama Victoria went to Bisola's family compound. It was humble but clean, with chickens running around and a well in the center. When Bisola came out to greet her, the girl knelt so low her forehead nearly touched the ground. "Good afternoon, Ma. You are most welcome to our home." Mama Victoria felt tears of joy. Finally, a girl who understands respect. God has answered my prayers. She told Bisola's parents, "I will treat her like the daughter I never had. She will want for nothing." If only walls could laugh. Within 6 weeks, the traditional wedding was done, and Bisola moved to Lagos as the new Mrs. Tond. The first month was like a dream. Bisola woke up before everyone, swept the compound until it sparkled, and prepared elaborate breakfast. "Mama, your food is ready. Oh. I made yam and eggs just the way you like it." Mama Victoria would sit like royalty while Bisola served her. "Oh. This is what I'm talking about. Patience and family should come and learn how to be a wife." Bisola would bow her head humbly. "Thank you, Mama. I'm just doing my duty." But behind those humble eyes, wheels were turning. Mama Victoria bragged to everyone. "My new daughter-in-law is a blessing. She calls me Queen Mama. She washes my clothes by hand even though we have a machine. She doesn't talk back. This is a wife." But slowly, like a crack in a dam, things began to shift. It started one evening when Ton was working late at the office. "Bisola." Mama called from the living room. "Bring me my dinner." Bisola was in the bedroom, painting her nails, watching TikTok videos on her phone. "I'm coming, Ma," she called back lazily. 15 minutes passed. "Bisola. What is wrong with you?" Bisola took her time. She blew on her nails, checked herself in the mirror, then walked out slowly. Her face was different. The sweetness was gone. In its place was something cold and dangerous. "Mama, if you're hungry, the kitchen is right there. Warm the food yourself. You have 2 working hands." Mama Victoria's eyes went wide. What did you say?" Bisola folded her arms. "You heard me. You think because I kneel and smile, I'm your servant? I married your son, not you. And let me be clear, if you try that your shouting and manipulation with me, you will lose. Because your son thinks I'm an angel, and if you complain, I just cry small. Who do you think he'll believe?" Mama Victoria felt the ground shift beneath her feet. Bisola smiled, but it wasn't warm. It was the smile of a predator. "Now, I suggest you go warm your food quietly before I lock that kitchen. Sweet dreams, Ma." She turned and walked away, leaving Mama Victoria standing there, trembling with shock. When Ton came home, Bisola transformed instantly. "Baby. Welcome home. How was your day? You look tired. Come, let me massage your shoulders." "Where's Mama?" Ton asked. "Oh, she said she wasn't hungry. I think she's just getting used to me being here. Give her time." Ton smiled, completely oblivious. Mama Victoria sat on her bed, her mind racing. For the first time in her life, she had met her match. The next morning, Mama Victoria woke up determined. "I will not be intimidated by a village girl. Not me." She went to the kitchen and found Bisola making breakfast, humming a gospel song. Bisola turned with the brightest smile. "Mama. Good morning. Oh. I made your favorite, beans and plantain." Come and sit, let me serve you. She served Mama like a queen, even pulled out her chair. Then she leaned close and whispered sweetly, Mama, about last night, I'm so sorry. I was just tired from housework. You understand, right? Mama swallowed. Yes, I understand. Bisola patted her shoulder. Good. I knew you would. Because we both want peace in this house, don't we? And that's when Mama realized, this girl was playing a game. A game Mama herself had invented. Days passed, and a pattern emerged. In front of Tond, Bisola was perfect. Mama, let me wash your plate. Mama, I pressed your Sunday clothes. Mama, you look so beautiful today. But the moment Tond left for work, the switch flipped. Mama, when you finish mopping the parlor, don't forget to clean the windows too. I want them spotless. If Mama complained, Bisola would smile dangerously. Mama, you know what people say about you in this neighborhood? That you're difficult. Do you really want to prove them right? Because one small cry from me, and Tond will believe I'm the victim. We both know your track record. Mama was trapped. Bisola started controlling everything. She took over the kitchen completely. Mama, I cooked small food today. Tond and I will eat. If you're hungry, there's bread in the cupboard. When Mama tried to watch TV, Bisola would take the remote. I'm watching my show now, Ma. Maybe watch from your phone. One Sunday, Mama tried to tell Tond the truth. My son, I need to talk to you about Bisola. But Bisola appeared suddenly with tears in her eyes. Baby, I've been trying so hard to make Mama happy, but I feel like she doesn't like me. What am I doing wrong? Tond hugged her. You're doing nothing wrong, sweetheart. Mama, this is exactly what you said about patience and funny. Maybe you're the problem. Those words hit Mama like a slap. That night, she lay in bed, tears streaming down her face, whispering to God. Is this my punishment? Is this what I deserve? Weeks turned into months. Mama Victoria became a shadow of herself. The once loud, commanding woman now moved quietly through the house, afraid to speak, afraid to complain. One afternoon, Tond's neighbor, Uncle Jide, pulled him aside. Tond, I don't like to interfere in family matters, but something is not right in your house. What do you mean? Your wife, the way she treats your mother when you're not around. It's disturbing. Tond felt his stomach tighten. Are you sure? I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard her shouting at your mother. Please, just pay attention. But don't tell her I said anything. I value my peace. That evening, Tond couldn't focus. He started noticing things. The way his mother flinched when Bisola spoke. The way Bisola would smile sweetly at him but glare at his mother when she thought he wasn't looking. The way his mother had stopped talking, stopped laughing, stopped being herself. He decided to test it. One Thursday, Tond told Bisola he had a business dinner and wouldn't be home until late. But instead, he parked his car down the street and waited. At 7 p.m., he quietly approached the house. He could hear voices. Mama, I said don't touch that pot. Are you deaf? Bisola, please, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since morning. And whose fault is that? You think I'm your maid? If not for me bringing civilization to your son's life, you will still be living like a local champion, tormenting innocent women. Please, my daughter. Don't daughter me. Go and cook your own food or stay hungry. I don't care which. Tond felt rage rise in his chest. He pushed the door open. Both women turned. Bisola's face went from shock to panic to instant transformation. Baby. You're home. I thought you had a dinner meeting. What was going on here? Tond asked, his voice dangerously calm. Nothing, oh. Just chatting with Mama. Right, Ma? Mama Victoria stood there, tears silently falling, but she said nothing. Pack your things, Ton said quietly. Baby, please here. Pack your things, he shouted. Bisola burst into tears. Ton, please. I'm sorry. I'll change. Please don't send me away. But before anyone could move, Mama Victoria spoke. My son, wait. Everyone turned to look at Mama Victoria. She took a deep breath, wiped her tears, and looked Bisola straight in the eye. Sending her away won't change anything. It will just repeat the same cycle I started. Mama, after everything she did to you? Ton asked, shocked. Mama raised her hand gently. Let me finish. She turned to Bisola. My daughter, what you did was cruel. You hurt me in ways I never imagined. But maybe God sent you to show me what I've been doing to others all these years. Then Bisola said something that froze the room. Mama, I didn't marry your son because I loved him. The silence was deafening. Bisola fell to her knees, sobbing. I married him because I wanted to punish you. Patience is my cousin. We grew up together. I saw how broken she was when she left this house. I heard her crying every night for months. I watched depression almost destroy her. And I was so angry. So angry that I made a plan. I asked around until I found you in the village. I pretended to be the perfect humble girl, and you fell for it. Mama gasped. I wanted you to feel every single pain you caused her, Bisola continued through her tears. I wanted you to know what it's like to walk on eggshells in your own home. To go hungry. To be afraid. To be humiliated. She looked up at Tond, her face wet with tears. But something happened. I fell in love with you. Real love. And it made everything so much worse because I knew I was becoming exactly what I hated. She turned back to Mama. I'm so sorry, Mama. I wanted to teach you a lesson, but I learned one instead. Revenge doesn't heal anything. It just creates more pain. The room was silent except for Bisola's sobs. Then Mama Victoria did something that surprised everyone, including herself. She knelt down beside Bisola and took her hands. My daughter, you did teach me. You showed me the monster I had become. And I'm grateful. Because without you, I would have died a bitter, lonely woman, wondering why no one loved me. Both women collapsed into each other's arms, crying. Ton stood there, watching, his own tears falling. He knelt down and wrapped his arms around both of them. No more pain, he whispered. No more games. From today, we heal as a family. The next morning felt like the first day after a storm. The house was quiet, but it was a peaceful quiet. Bisola made breakfast, not out of manipulation, but out of genuine care. When Mama came out, Bisola smiled, a real smile. Good morning, Mama. I made your favorite. Mama smiled back, also genuine. Thank you, my daughter. They sat together at the table, turned between them, and ate as a family. For the first time in years, there was no tension, no fear, no hidden agendas. Just three people who had hurt each other, learning how to forgive. Weeks turned into months. Mama Victoria started attending church women's meetings again. And one Sunday, during testimony time, she stood up. Her voice was steady, but filled with emotion. I want to thank God for using my daughter-in-law to save my soul. I was a wicked woman. I drove away two good women because of my pride and control. I thought I was protecting my son, but I was destroying his happiness. God sent me a teacher in disguise, and she showed me exactly who I had become. And I didn't like what I saw. So I changed. The church was silent, then someone started clapping. Then another. Then the whole congregation erupted in applause. After service, Women came to hug her. Mama Victoria, we are so proud of you. These days, when people visit their home, they can't believe the transformation. Is this the same Mama Victoria? They whisper in shock. Because the woman who once made daughters-in-law cry now sits peacefully with Bisola, laughing at old Nollywood movies, giving relationship advice to young couples. One evening, Mama and Bisola were in the kitchen cooking together. Bisola looked at Mama and said, "You know, Mama, I came here to destroy you. But you ended up saving me too." Mama paused, looked at her, and smiled. God works in mysterious ways, my daughter. They hugged, both understanding that sometimes the greatest gift is the mirror that shows us our truth. Ton walked in and saw them, his wife and his mother, walking side by side, laughing. And he smiled, because he finally had what he always wanted, peace in his home. Patience and Funmi, Ton's ex-wives, both received personal apology letters from Mama Victoria. She didn't make excuses. She simply wrote, "I was wrong. I hate you. I destroyed your marriages. I'm sorry. I pray you find healing and happiness." Both women cried when they read the letters. Funmi called Mama Victoria, and they talked for 2 hours. Patience sent a text, "I forgive you, Mama. I hope you found peace." Mama Victoria framed those messages and put them on her wall as a reminder of the woman she never wanted to be again. And Bisola. She became Mama's greatest advocate. Whenever young brides complained about their mothers-in-law, Bisola would say, "Give them grace. Hurt people. But healed people can heal people." This story teaches us several powerful truths. First, life is a mirror. Whatever we put out into the world comes back to us, often when we least expect it. Second, revenge may feel satisfying at first, but it ultimately poisons the person seeking it just as much as the target. Third, real change happens when we are brave enough to look at our own reflection and admit we don't like what we see. Fourth, forgiveness is not weakness. It's the strongest thing a person can do. It frees both the person who gives it and the person who receives it. Fifth, no matter how much we've hurt others or been hurt ourselves, it's never too late to change, to grow, to become better. Finally, sometimes God sends people into our lives not to make us comfortable, but to make us better. And those people, the difficult ones, are often our greatest teachers. Remember, every action is a seed. Be careful what you plant, because one day you will have to eat from that harvest. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video. Drop a comment below and tell us which character you related to most and what lesson spoke to you. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss stories that inspire, challenge, and transform. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today. Your support means everything to us and allows us to keep creating content that matters. Until next time, remember, treat others the way you want to be treated, because life is always watching, and karma never forgets. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Stay kind. We'll see you in the next story.